Welcome to Soul Searching Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Eddie Lee, and today's episode 5, Showing Love While Breaking Cultural Barriers. And today we got the legendary comedian, Cha Xiong. Give it up for him.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lee, for having me here. I'm very excited to be here today. Um, this podcast is going to be really good. We're going to dig deep into some subjects that are going to be sensitive to some people, but it's also something that we need to talk about in the Hmong community. Um, the way we're raised as Hmong men, the way we're raised to act, the way we are raised to uh, to live our life. I guess but
Expectations.
expectation, yeah. But we're not gonna hit all the subjects, you know, but we are gonna hit one uh, certain subjects that I believe that we don't, us small men, need to break out of, and we need to embrace more of it.
Cha, I see your videos every single day. I watch it, love it, think it's authentic, I think it's unique, and I look forward to it every morning. But I want to know this, and maybe the whole everybody else wants to know this. How do you even get into social media and making these videos?
So I was really not into social media until I was almost 40 years old. The reason why I got into social media is because I got into the car scene. When I was younger, I was in the car scene, but then I left for a long time, and I kind of got back into it. And then I would track my car a lot, and I picked up a couple sponsors.
Really?
Yeah, and then, the sponsor wanted exposure. That was part of the deal. So it kind of like forced my hand into social media. So I had to create a Instagram account, and I had to create a Facebook account. Just so I could expose my sponsors, to the audience. So that's kind of how I got to social media.
So you were into the car culture.
Yes.
All right. What kind of car did you drive?
Well, I was in the SCCA for years, and I started out with a WX. One day, I was out there, and I lost a race to a young guy. He was like 20 years old, 20, 21, 22 years old, can't be any older. He was driving a Honda Civic with a K20 swap.
Ouch.
Yeah, and I thought my 450 horsepower to the wheel was enough. It wasn't. I was, and after the race, I lost to him. I lost to him so bad, and I went up to him, and you know what? The difference between you and me, I have good credit, okay? So a couple of weeks later, I showed back up with the GTR, and he was like, "Oh, okay, that's what you need."
Oh, so you brought Godzilla.
Yeah. So I would have got myself a GTR, a R35. Kind of that's it.
So for those who doesn't know what R35 is, what is the R35?
R35 is a Skyline. It's a Nissan GTR Skyline. We don't call it a Skyline anymore. The GTR is just now a GTR. They kind of took away the Skyline name, but it's just GTR for the R35.
GTR. Maybe one day if you still have that car, I'll take my dad's vet and we'll just cruise.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We'll enjoy it, yeah.
Definitely. So I noticed for those like you are a content creator
Mhm.
on social media, and then for those who are content creators, then they want to get paid. Some I see some influencers, some content creators, they love to go into dramas. Like they anything's controversial, they'll pick up, they'll talk about it, and just so to get the likes, to get the clicks, and to get the money. But I noticed you don't get into dramas.
So when it comes to uh, me and my wife channel, it's kind of a comedy channel. You turn on Netflix, and you get to choose your action, choose your sci-fi, you choose your comedy, you choose your drama. My channel, I kind of like stick to one subject, which is comedy. Uh, Try to make people laugh, try to make people feel good. When it comes to drama, there's so much drama on Facebook, and so many people are involved in it. A lot of content creators, like you said, get involved into it, but not me and my wife. We stay away from it because that's just not our subject. Uh, I'll leave the drama to other people that are more interested in that kind of drama. So, but me and my wife, we just never touched any kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's why I got a lot of respect for you and your wife, Vicky. You guys stick to you. You just do you, and that's amazing. But I would let you know somehow one of my episodes got into Hmong tea, and I got so many followers. So thank you to whoever brought me out to Hmong tea. It had nothing to do with tea. It had nothing.
The thing is, I guess, when they said any kind of exposure, bad or good, it's exposure.
Right.
And a lot of people gain followers from drama. I think that's what attract a lot of content creators. That's why they like that drama. It's just not for me.
One of our first real conversation, we were at the studio, at Lang's studio, Tinky did, and that's when you and I had a like a real conversation, and I think that's kind of made us even closer because it's very hard to find men who could just be vulnerable and share things that will be considered weak in the Hmong community's eyes. You share, and you definitely could share this much better than I could. But you were sharing about some about your sisters.
Okay. Yeah, so this is kind of like the touchy subject that we are talking about, and this is what we really want to talk about during this episode. So us Hmong man, like the older generations, my dad, your dad, and everybody else's dad, they're senior citizens right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're raised, the moment are raised to not show affections, to not show feelings. If they feel sad that day, they're not allowed to show it. If they feel excited that day, maybe a little bit, but not the way that you should be showing it. So a lot of the Hmong older men are just raised like that, and
Right.
in terms of that, they kind of like push that culture to us, especially mid age like you and me. So what we were talking about was, like, hey, I was telling you a story about, hey, my sister moved away to North Carolina, and
Right.
she got married, and her husband moved up there, and I haven't seen her for years. So she came back down to Fresno after like, I believe like 3 or 4 years, and I haven't seen her. And we were hanging out, and friends was there. She called her friends, some of her friends and cousins came over and hang out, and I'm one of those person where I love hugging people. Whether it's my mom, my dad, my sisters, my brothers, my friends. All my friends know if every time they see me, they gotta get a hug. So they all know. So, and I got my sister and I hugged her, and I kissed her on the cheek and I said, I love you, sis. And one of her friends was next to her, and her friends was like, oh my gosh, and she started crying, and I was like, what's going on? And she's like, oh my God, how come my brothers don't hold me like that? How come my brothers don't
Mm.
just hold me and tell them they love me? And, it's like, I was like, your brothers don't, and it kind of, like, it's kind of like in the monk in me that, kind of like that.
Right.
And
No.
and so let me ask you this, Eddie, what was the last time you hugged your sister? What was the last time you hugged your mom or your dad or your brothers and tell them that you love them?
you know, to be open, to be honest, like I don't remember the last time I actually hugged my sister, or my brothers, or my dad. Like the only time I hug my mom and dad is like for occasion, birthdays, holidays, or celebration like graduation, and but just to do it. I don't think I have just hugged my brother or sister or my parents and just tell them I love them.
You should try. You should try. You should just go tell your sister next time you see her, because your sister doesn't live here, right?
No, they actually all my sister lives there.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
next time you see your sister come home from work or anything like that, just hug your sister and say, "Hey, sis, I love you." That's it.
Right. It's funny because you mentioned that. See, for you, it was so normal because that was something that you were you made an attempt to do, and it became just a second nature for you.
Mm,
And I know there are just a handful of other men who I spoke to, Hmong men too.
mm,
You know, for them, they were the same way,
yeah.
and they're like, I don't just hug my sister, I actually hug my brothers too, and tell them I love them. And just like you said, growing up, I just never just affection, like showing those kind of level of affection,
Mm,
showing I love you, like just hug you. And I don't do that with any of my siblings. I don't do it with my parents, but I do it with my sons.
yes.
I do it with my sons. I do hug, especially my youngest too. 'Cause he's still young, but
Yeah, of course.
I hug them. I tell them I love them.
But you see how where the culture it's broken. You
Right.
see how our generations we see it, but we see it and we do it to our kids, our babies, our sons, our daughters, right? I mean, that's the American culture, or the West, the culture is kind of coming in and dripping from us into our kids. Now, our kids, it won't be so strange, but where does that breakdown comes from?
Mm.
Why is it for us? Why is it so taboo or to hug your sister and kiss your sister on the cheek? You know, I See, my parents live in Fresno, so even when I was in Fresno, I live separate from them, and even if I haven't seen my dad or my mom for a week, when I go visit them, I grab them and I kiss my mom on the cheek. I tell my mom I love you. Same thing with my dad. I told my dad, I kiss him on the cheek all the time. Even my sisters, I kiss them on the cheek. Okay, I grab them and I kiss them on the cheek. Says I love you, sis, and that's it. After once I see them, I do that, and then we go on doing our family thing. But why is it so hard for men our age or older to incorporate that into our daily life? Do you think it's important that we show affection like that, or do what's the breakdown?
I will share this. I think when you said living in America, being able to show more emotion from a man, I look at my dad, because my dad is one person who, he's very traditional. He's traditional, but I think my dad, he was very good at starting to adapt, especially when things happen to his kids. Like for me, when my ex-wife left me, I was one of the worst time of my life.
Yeah,
And I remember I came home one time. I was moving out from the rental. I moved all my clothes from the rental back to my parents' house, and then I knew I had to sleep there one more night because I didn't take my son to school. I came, maybe it was midnight. I was grabbing my clothes. My mom came out, and she was like, she turned on the light and she was like, "Hey, you're home." I was like, "Yeah, I'm grabbing my clothes so that tomorrow I can send the kids to school. That's gonna be my last night at the rental." And then my mom was helping me fold my clothes, and then and she was like, "Son, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're going through all this." And from a mother, I expect to hear that, right? But then she's like, "Hey, I just wanna let you know too that your dad cries for you every night. He cries for you every night." And I just started breaking down, like I was starting crying.
yeah,
And she was just like, "He just doesn't want you to see. He doesn't want you to know that he cries, but he worries so much about you."
yeah,
And I just remember crying because the thought of my dad crying it's not what I was used to. It's not what I was expected.
absolutely.
Yeah. So I just remember I told my mom, like, I was packing my clothes, and she gave me a hug, and I told my mom, just like, "Hey, tell dad he doesn't need to cry no more. That I'll be okay."
Yeah,
Yeah, but I left and I went in my car and I cried, and I cried maybe, and part of it was because I I heard that my dad was crying
mm,
for me, and that's not an emotion I saw growing up from my dad.
yeah, yeah. Same thing with my dad. I only see my dad cry twice in my life. I see my dad cry when my grandpa passed away, and I see my dad cry another time when my grandma passed away, and that was it. That was it. And there's Hmong man, their age, the way they're raised, it's not to show that kind of feeling, and it has to be something dramatic, that it's worth showing to show it, and when you show feeling, it has to be because it's the right time to show it.
Right.
You can't randomly just, like for my dad, if I'm waiting for my dad to come hug me and tell me I love you, my dad would never do that. I go to my dad and I told my dad I love you. I hug him, I kiss him on the cheek, and I say I love you. Then he says I love you back to me. But uh, growing up, my dad, he provided, he loves us. I can honestly say that if I had to do it over again, I would choose my mom and dad to be my mom and dad again.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's how much they love me. That's how much they love all of us growing up. So by saying that he doesn't show feeling doesn't mean he doesn't love you and he doesn't provide for me and my brothers and sisters. My dad is an amazing dad. My mom is an amazing mom, But it's just the way the Hmong cultures, the Hmong men are raised. It's just it just doesn't want to show that feeling. And I truly believe, our kids are got to be more open when it comes to showing. But we're stuck in the middle of the transition, and I believe that we should be showing more feelings as well too, toward each other, like you know now you know that I love to hug my friends. I just come up to when I see you.
Right.
So as soon as you see me, you already know you're getting a hug. You
That's
already know.
right.
So hug cheers, say hey, how's it going? So same thing goes to all my other friends. And I don't know if they do that to each other, but they know when they see me, they're gonna get a hug. And my sisters and brothers, they all expect the same thing from me. My brothers are fall into the category like we're kind of like where you're at, where kind of like where you're at, like like they're still afraid. They want to do it, but they're still afraid to do it. They're just not as open, but yeah, like they like yeah.
But you're right. You're 100% because my younger sister, I love her to death, but I don't remember the last time I told her like I just love her. But it will be like, hey, I can I borrow? Can I have some money for an iPad for a tire? I mean, yeah, I got you. I was just sending it to her. I don't expect her to pay me back because that's the love I have for her. Maybe that's the old school, just providing.
Yeah, yeah.
But to say I love you, I don't think I have said that. I love her. Like I don't think so. To all my sisters and my brothers, I love y'all. I love y'all. To be honest, still sounds a little weird saying it
Yeah, yeah,
to them, even to my mom and dad.
yeah,
Saying it,
yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Going up to your sister and just randomly telling your sister that you love her. It in the beginning it does sound weird, but it's like you love her, you love your sisters, you love your brothers, that's what brother love is and sister love is. It's not like in the beginning, like you said, it is kind of weird because you're not used to it, but we as Hmong man, we need to show more of that feeling. I believe, our parents, that generations, it's got passed. Now it's our generation to teach each other that it's okay. It's okay to love to tell your sister or your brother that you love them. It's okay to tell your mom and dad that you love them.
I actually shared your like gave a little preview of what you were gonna come on the podcast to some friends, and it really hit one of my friends. I call her my bigger sister because she's Hmong, huh? And all she heard was just brother telling sister I love you. She teared up. She started crying. She said because she was so close to her brother, and she tells her brother all the time that she loves him. He tells her she loves him. He loves her all the time too. And then that he passed away. And so small things like just saying I love you is right. Like you said, we don't say enough, and I think that's something that I know I have to work on better. And and I'm grateful for you bringing that to my attention.
So it's great that we're talking about this, but when it comes to real life application, uh, you know, imagine if your brother come to you. Imagine if your brother comes to you today and tell you that, bro, I love you so much. Imagine how much that'll cheer your day. Or your sister come up to you and tell you, hey, brother, well, I love you. That just wow, okay, like I don't know about um, anybody else, but if my sister come up to me and tell me that she loves me, it's like it brightens up my day. It makes my day so much better. It makes life so much better knowing that your brother and sister love you, your mom and dad love you. And they do, even though they don't say it in Hmong culture, they do love you and they show it. But at the same time, just hearing it, makes it so much better and make it so much better. And it kind of like affirmed and it kind of is like authenticated that that they love you. So that's what it's really all about.
Right. And at the end of the day, if we tell each other we love each other more often, it's easier for us to go to our support system, our loved ones, our sisters, our brothers, our parents, and ask for help when we really need help. And I'll be honest, like during when my ex-wife left me, you hit that dark point where you're very suicidal. But as men, I couldn't go. I felt like I had to have everything figured out. I couldn't show any weakness, any emotion. And because there's not the culture of us telling each other that we love each other, I just kind of kept it to myself, and I was afraid. It wasn't that I was afraid, but it's just like I just wouldn't ask for help because you don't hear that enough. Imagine if we did, if that was part of my my culture, my family tradition, where we always tell, how much easier would it have been for me to ask my family for help.
Yeah. So uh, let me tell you a story. Okay. Uh, when I first started dating, and I always provide for myself, other than my parents, of course. And everything I want, I always, work for it and I get it for myself. And the I started dating a girl in high school, and I was talking about this jacket that I want. I was like, man, I want to get a jacket. That jacket's so nice. And one day that girl showed up with that jacket as a gift for me for my birthday,
Oh wow!
and I got mad at her.
What?
Yeah, because I was like, what? You got me that jacket because you think I can afford it? You know?
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Because it kind of like shut my pride down, and that was during my younger days, where it's like, growing up, it's like if you're a man, then you don't need nobody else, if you're a man, then whatever you need, you work for it and you earn it.
Right,
Kind of,
right.
I grew up like that, and other than my parents, nobody else, my grandma, grandpa too, of course, helped me raise me growing up as well too, and those are the only people that I kind of accept gift from. But it was so weird because that girl was so confused. I scared her. I was like, she was like,
I ain't doing nothing nice for you anymore.
yeah, and that's kind of where what you were talking about. It's like, like you're just so used to helping yourself that you're afraid to ask for help. And that's something that everybody that needs to work on. And that support, that help. Knowing that it's there to help and knowing that it's there whenever you need them. It kind of put your mind at ease. Like you know what? Maybe I don't have to carry this weight by myself.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And I know this could definitely go with both men and women. Um, but Cha, like what would be your advice to give younger men and just Hmong family on how to express more emotion?
Well, just go out there and do it. Just start it. Just start it. There's no there's no asking. You don't go up to your sister and say, "Hey, sis, can I hug you?" You just don't. Well, next time you see your sister, just give her a hug. Next time you see your brother, just give him a hug. Your mom and dad, same thing. Just start it. Just start it, and eventually it just become a normal thing for you. And and I feel good. And my parents, they love it. Now that every time they see me, they always put their arm up because they know I'm gonna help them because that I started it. And there was no really nothing that like got me started. I just decided one day that what, man, I gotta help my brothers, my sisters, my friends, my parents. And tell them I love them. And it just becomes second nature for me. Uh, I don't know if it, maybe just you know go to your brother next time you see him. Go to your sister next time you see them. Go to your next time you see your parents. They don't have to be gone for a long time. Maybe they went to work and you haven't seen them all day. Surprise them. You might, they might surprise you back. They might be like, "Oh, thanks, brother. I was having such a bad day, and it makes me feel better that I know that you're there. And I know you tell me you love me. It's just something. Just start it.
Just start it. I love that. Yeah, I love that. And you know what? I think you came on and you gave great example. Um, we talked about the culture, the expectation of a man, and how you had set that tradition for your own family, for your own friends. And I think that we could all learn from that. And something I promise that I'm definitely going to try to be better. Again, it's not something normal, second nature for me. But if we can make the world a better place by just telling each other that we love each other, I think that's a start. Just like you said,
Yeah,
just do it.
a little bit at a time.
It's a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
Perfect. And and that that's a perfect segue to conclude this podcast. Again, for those don't forget to subscribe to this channel.
Yeah, yeah. Eddie on Facebook, on Instagram, he has great content. Follow him. And then you got soul searching on YouTube. Follow YouTube. And then if you like funny videos, just 30-second clips just to make you laugh for a couple minutes here and there. You follow Vikkie and Cha on Facebook as well too, and then TikTok as well too. So
Well, yeah, don't forget to follow us.
yeah.
Again, this is Soul Searching Podcast, where healing begins with one conversation at a time.